What's going on, everybody? Right here, and welcome back to another video. So guys, if you're like myself, you're probably getting a little bit antsy about getting a new brawler. It's been a long time since we've gotten anything new. The newest brawler that we've gotten was Daryl, and as you can see, I'm sitting at 804 brawl boxes. I'm set and ready to go for new brawlers. That being said, guys, we're going to be jumping into some really awesome new brawler concepts thought up by the Brawl Stars community that I would undoubtedly spend every single last brawl box that I have right now on those brawlers, or spend extra gems on. They're just so dang cool. So we're gonna be jumping into them right now. Alrighty guys, so all these brawlers can be found on the weeklybrawler.com. It's a blog on Brawl Stars that I gotta say I always go to for new brawler concepts and awesome ideas. So I highly recommend you guys check them out. I'm gonna put a link in the description down below. But with that being said, let's jump into the very first brawler. Alrighty guys, so jumping into the very first brawler, his name is Shadow. So guys, if he was introduced to the game, I'd pick him up right away for two reasons. One, he's a melee brawler, so we don't see those very often. The only two melee brawlers that we have is Primo and Mortis. And he has a stealth feature. So I'm sure you guys have heard me say before in live streams and whatnot that a really awesome concept that I would love about a brawler is some sort of stealthiness to it, whether it be their super where they can activate it and get in close. They might not do a whole lot of damage, but I love that idea where they can kind of disappear, get behind a unit. It brings up a lot of things. They'd be awesome in heist. They'd be awesome in smash and grab, someone picking up some gems and he's not even there. So to start things off, let's go over Shadow's lore, his backstory. And I gotta say, when a new brawler concept comes out, these are the things that I'm attracted to the most. What is the brawler doing? What's his backstory? Why is he in the game? I love that about brawlers. So his backstory is the Shadow is a solitary warrior who was hiding in the dark realms of the Brawl land until his old friend Bo called out for help. So guys, he was called out by his buddy Bo to come in and fight for Brawl Stars to help him out. That is awesome. That's a sick backstory, and it gets me really hyped up about this brawler even more. Alrighty guys, so a little bit more about Shadow. So the Shadow is a melee brawler. His attack has a secondary ranged effect. The Shadow swings his enchanted sword and damages enemies within the sword's range. While swinging the sword, his sword releases a purplish blue wave that decreases the damage of enemy brawlers hit by it. So keep in mind that Shadow is a melee brawler, so once he gets close to another opponent and he hits him, he's going to send off a blue purplish wave in the direction that he hits, and when a brawler gets hit by that wave, they're going to take decreased damage, so they're going to do less damage than they would normally for a certain amount of time. I think that's such a cool idea. Let's jump into the next one. Shadow swings his sword twice per ammo, but only one wave is released per ammo. One strike is towards the left, one strike is towards the right. The sword strike can hit multiple brawlers simultaneously, so it's kind of like Primo, where he is only going to hit twice, not as much as Primo, but it's going to hit in a nice radius. So if you're underneath a bunch of brawlers or really close to someone, say you're sneaking in the brush, and you hit them and they're all grouped together, you can get a lot of splash damage done on all the brawlers. And then plus the waves are going to be going out every single time you attack, so that they're going to take decreased damage. So I think he sounds really cool. So next, the effect of the wave lasts for 5 seconds. Its range is as big as Poco's melody wave, so that gives you a little bit of perspective. It's only going to last a little bit, their damage decrease, but that can do a lot while you're in game. Say in smash and grab where you're trying to overtake the middle, that can help out a lot if the rest of the team is down 15% of their attack. So you guys, the Shadow would be introduced as a mythic brawler just because he has a lot of unique things with his character. As you guys know, when we progress in rarity, the more complicated the brawler gets, or the more unique things he can do. It's not that they're better or anything like that, it's just that they do a little bit more unique things in the game. So jumping into the unique things that he can do, so Shadow, we already discussed his basic attack. When he strikes, he hits twice with his sword, and he releases a wave that's going to decrease the damage of the brawlers that are around him. Now, it does sound a little bit OP just because that's his basic attack, and you can get 15% damage reduction every single time you hit them. Now, it's not going to stack where if you hit the same person with the wave, he's going to be down 30% and then 45. So it's not that OP, but the 15% can do a lot for your team. But let's jump into the super. So the Shadow makes 2 clones of himself, which have low health and damage. The clones look exactly the same as Shadow to the enemy team, whereas for its teammates, the clones have a purplish appearance. The clones mirror every move the original Shadow does. I think that sounds awesome. It might be a little little bit OP as well, but I think it is really cool concept. I love the spookiness of this brawler, or the stealthiness. I've been always preaching I want a stealthy brawler that can either disappear or do things like this. So Shadow is basically kind of like a ninja of a sense. So he can do shenanigans like this where he can create clones of himself that don't do a lot of damage or health, but it can create some confusion for the other team, which is really cool, which is what a stealth character should do. So next, jumping into his star power, and this is what I'm most hyped about this character. So Shadow will turn invisible only if he deals more than 600 damage to the enemy. Just finishing off a low health brawler won't make him invisible. Enemies too close to him, 2 tile radius, will be able to see him. Teammates will be able to see a reddish outline of Shadow when he's invisible. So guys, we have a brawler that can turn invisible. If this was introduced to the game, I would get him so fast. This is such a cool concept. He turns invisible. Think of all the cool things that you can do with this. You can play in heist where you can get behind the safe. If you're not close enough, you got to be careful with it. Or this can be good for getting gems and smash and grab, or getting a good position. You guys know that flanking has been kind of taken away in the game. Well, this brawler can have that. He can do some flanks and things like that. I think it'd be awesome, and it'd go really well with his basic attack. So his stats is his health would start off at 3,200. His damage per strike would be 520. Damage reduction is 15%. You guys knew I was talking about that earlier when I was talking about his descriptions and whatnot. His clones damage would be 156, and speed is 750. So jumping into the next brawler, and I would spend money on this one as well. He actually made a feature in my favorite fan art that I did a couple days ago, and his name is Light. So his lure is people in town just say to have seen them, but no one actually knows who he is. Such a cool backstory. So jumping into the stats, so his health is 3,240 maxed out. Damage per bullet maxed out is 486. Attack range 11 tiles, so pretty long. Super damage per bullet 486, and I'll get into what the super does and everything like that. Super range 8 tiles. Speed 650. Reload time 2.2. And his rarity would be an epic or a mythic. So this guy reminds me a lot of Piper. He's a longer range unit, and he can do a lot of damage per hit. Let's jump into his attack. So his attack is called honing, and what it does is he shoots 3 bullets that slowly hone in on enemies. So this is a little bit different than any long range brawler that does a lot of damage, kind of like Piper, where Piper shoots 1 shot individually, and if you land that, it's going to do some damage. Now this guy, if you shoot 1 shot, he's going to shoot bullets progressively, and it's going to shoot 3 of them, and it's going to hone in on the enemy. I think this is really cool. So jumping into his super, it's called Psychic Mayhem. So Light throws a grenade exploding into multiple bullets, which won't leave you alone. So he throws a grenade or something that explodes with a tile radius of 2 tiles. So it's going to be a small detonation, but once it explodes into 10 different bullets, strong as his basic attack, that's going to hone in on an individual brawler or brawlers that are close. Now I'm assuming that they're not going to hone in, like, not going to leave you alone until it hits you. I'm guessing it's going to have a little bit where you can dodge it and get away from it, but the bullets that are going to be exploding from the grenade are going to have 11 tile radius, so it's going to be just as long as his basic attack as well. So I'm getting another vibe from Piper, where she drops grenades and this guy's going to throw a grenade for his super, where Piper's just more for an escape and this guy's is more for an attack. So I really like this a lot. So next is his star power, and it's called Merciless. So Light's power works in unknown ways, but we do know that his bullets each deal 100 more damage to enemies below half of their health. So this would be great against tankier units once they get a little bit lower, just because if they're getting a little bit reckless, he can do a bunch of damage to them and get them even lower or kill them. So I think this would be a great deterrent to the tankier units. So this is another brawler concept that I really love. I would jump on this brawler as soon as it would come out. So let's jump into the next brawler. So the next brawler that we're going to be talking about is Creed. So his description is Creed enjoys simple things, eating, sleeping, and robbing you so fast that you won't even see him coming. Literally. That's such a cool description. So he's going to be an epic brawler if you were introduced to the game. His health would be sitting at base 2,200 and at max 2,970, so a little bit squishier. His movement speed would be at 3.55 tiles per second. So let's discuss his attack a little bit. So it's called Sharp Dart. So Creed throws 4 darts which fly in a spread similar to Shelly's. The darts aren't thrown at once though. He throws 1 dart every 0.2 seconds, making it really hard to hit all 4 of them. The darts fly at very fast speed. So this is a good thing just because he does a little bit more damage per dart. He'd be very OP if he threw them all out at once, and it would be a little bit too similar to like brawlers that we already have in the game, like Tara and Crow and things like that. So his damage is 300 at base, 405 at max per dart. His range is 7 tiles, reload speed 1.5 seconds. So next, talking about his super. So it's called Speed Boost, and this is a really cool idea. So Creed's super makes it so him and his teammates nearby in a 6 tile radius get a speed boost. His teammates though get a weaker boost, and the boost also lasts shorter for them. So this is such a great and unique idea for his super. I think you could think of really awesome ways to use it, like in smash and grab. Say you're behind and that timer's going down, you can use that speed boost to get in there a little bit quicker. There's a bunch of different things that you can do, like in Brawl Ball. If your person has the ball, you can use it on them or your team and try to score it really quickly. It's just a really cool concept, and if it were introduced to the game, I don't think it would be too overpowered or anything like that. It'd be good, granted, because your whole team is getting a buff and be kind of getting the other team at a disadvantage, but I think it's very simple and it'd be really cool. You guys know how much I love mobility. So next is a star power, and it's called Paralyze. So when you run close to an opponent during your super, you stun them for 3.5 seconds. Now it's not going to stack, where if you have your super activated and you just keep running by the same brawler, you're not going to keep stunning them over and over. It's only going to stun them once. So this does sound a little bit overpowered, but I guess it is a star power and it'd be hard to get. But think of it, if you're stunning, taking a brawler out of commission, and you can still run while your other team has a speed boost, or the other members on your team have a speed boost, that can be really devastating. You can do really good work on Brawl Ball, you can do really good work on smash and grab, because they can't do anything. So I feel like that'd be a little bit overpowered, but it's still a sweet concept, and I really love this brawler. So you guys, these were the new brawling concepts that I wanted to cover. I think they're all really awesome. I think my favorite one is Shadow, but I'd love to hear what you guys think. If you guys have a specific favorite out of the 3, let me know in the comments below. Also, if you guys did enjoy the video, make sure to leave a like on it. And with that being said, make sure to keep having fun with Brawl Stars, and we'll see you in the next video. Peace.
Fill me out with your smile, while the sunshine brings the light. Fill me out with a flame.